The Cherokee County coroner described the chute as a death trap. He's asking the governor and state officials to step up and take action before anyone else is killed.
It's a death trap because it's sort of like being a house that's on fire with no windows and no doors. You can't get out. That's what happened yesterday. There was a rear-end collision. One vehicle began to stop, and it was a chain reaction. So you had all these people. They can't go left. They can't go right. Only thing they can do is hit each other.
This an absolutely horrific crash. You mentioned it. We are standing on a parallel road right next to I-85, and just from being up close for hours today, I can tell you it did not look good.
We've got a big update for drivers on I-85. A new traffic pattern is now in place, and the first set of chutes are gone.
Now, I know a lot of people are looking forward to this first 5-mile stretch being removed. A lot of people are now wondering, when is the next 5-mile stretch going to be lifted? They said that they're going to need about 90 days of prep work before they can begin on that second project. We asked what a timeline of this would look like. They said towards the end of the year. Of course, we'll keep you updated on all things here. Back to you.
We took one last drive through the chutes as crews prepared for the final step in the removal process. The DOT says miles 81 through 86 will be cleared tonight.
Considering how many accidents that happen there all of the time, this should have been handled months ago.
Sherry Bailey is the latest crash victim of the chutes. A driver rear-ended her as she slowed down for another crash this past Saturday.
Once you're in there, you can't get out. You're trapped. There's no pull-offs. There's no way for emergency services to get to the person that is in need.
Well, Fox Carolina is committed to your safety, and this afternoon, those concrete chutes on 85 in Cherokee County, they're gone. Construction in that area continues, but the barrier that's often called a death trap is no more. We have been following the process for months after a deadly wreck killed 3 people over the summer and dozens of wrecks that caused major backups. Now, the community and the Cherokee County coroner calling for those safety changes. And today, the coroner says while the roads are safer, there are still dangers drivers need to be aware of.
It's a safer day in Cherokee County today because that dangerous, fatal chute is not there. However, there are some still dangers out there, shifting lanes suddenly and that sort of thing, the barriers that are between the 2 lanes of traffic, but it's safer because those chutes are gone.
But as the game went on, this slowly started to turn into something else that they weren't quite expecting. But we were able to catch up with quite a few Braves fans from the upstate who said no matter what, they were getting in the car, coming down 85 and enjoying this game. And they said they would do it all over again, doesn't matter the score.
Man, I'm a championship chaser, and Clemson ain't going to win the championship this year. So I said, let's go to Atlanta and see them here.
It's really hard to put into words what this day has been like here in Atlanta. We have the fireworks going off at Truist Park as a culmination of the most amazing day, really incredible week celebrating the Braves World Series victory, the first World Series win for the organization in 26 years. We are committed to getting you answers about road conditions across the upstate, and we're checking out what's going on with those potholes on Bryant Road. This is in Spartanburg.
And if you're frustrated with the road conditions, Fox Carolina's Teresa Bowles is live to tell you what's being done about it. Hey, Teresa.
Hey Cody, I'm standing where I saw some of the worst parts of the road as far as potholes, and that's where Chesney Highway intersects with Bryant Road, and it's bad on the county side and the state side of the road. So I reached out to both officials, and I can only confirm that one half of the road is being fixed.
I've been lucky to know where they're at so I can swing around them. But if you got oncoming traffic, you have to hit the pothole.
And when you cross over the bridge above the interstate, it gets smoother. Then boom, the potholes are back again. And some parts of the road are so bad, it looks like someone took a puzzle piece out of the concrete. So who's going to put Bryant Road back together again?
I like to see it paved.
I reached out to the county about the side they control multiple times. No one got back to me. But on the state side, the SCDOT says it's under contract and they're set to start work late summer.
They've patched them up, and I mean, they just come back open, or it ends up breaking back down and getting, back bad again, or even worse.
And while Ellie waits, you tell him, girl, so will the rest of the frustrated drivers.
I think they just need to totally redo it and just go over it. I know it'd be, a headache and a traffic issue, but it needs to be redone.
And I'll check back toward the end of the summer to see how Bryant Road turns out when the SCDOT works on it. And I'm also going to continue to reach out to the county, and I'll update you guys when I hear from them.
Well, it's a storyline that has much of South Carolina in shock. Alex Murdaugh found shot just 3 months after his wife and son were both found shot and killed. SLED confirms Alex was shot after his Mercedes SUV broke down along a road in Hampton County while on his way to Charleston.
I got the chance to speak with Dick Harpootlian, who represented his Murdaughs and still representing them now. He answered several of our questions about what has come to light after the deaths of his wife Maggie and son Paul. So this afternoon, SLED put out a release that they are opening a criminal investigation into Gloria Satterfield's death. It was first reported she tripped and fell at their estate. She had been a housekeeper for the Murdaughs for many years. And we also learned today that Satterfield's kids are suing your client, Alex Murdaugh, saying that there was a settlement of $500,000 reached after their mom's death, and that your client admitted fault in that, but they say they never got the money. What's your client's involvement in Gloria Satterfield's death?
Well, first of all, he has no involvement in Gloria Satterfield's death. The insurance company that paid the money did an investigation and determined it was an accident, that she tripped and fell down the stairs. And that was a case that was not litigated, but examined thoroughly by the insurance company. Wouldn't have paid the money if they didn't think it was owed. So, I mean, these are rumors and innuendos, and maybe SLED feels like they've got to chase every rabbit that's out there, but I think this is going to be a huge dead end.
And we are following that breaking news from the Midlands today. A judge ordered Alex Murdaugh to stay in jail. Our Cody Alcorn joining us from the field there live in Columbia. Cody, you have been out there since this morning in the courtroom, and we have learned a lot of new information today.
A once prominent Lowcountry attorney was walked into the courtroom shackled, his head down a majority of the time. He's charged with 2 counts of obtaining property by false pretenses. Of course, this stemming from the death of his longtime housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield, in 2018. We learned she tripped over the Murdaughs' dogs, fell down those stairs, and later had a stroke while in the hospital. Only on Fox 6 years ago, 19-year-old Stephen Smith was found dead in the Lowcountry in Hampton County. His case has remained a mystery ever since. As his mom, Sandy Smith, tried to get answers, eventually not much attention was given to his case. That would all change in June of this year after Maggie and Paul Murdaugh were found killed on their property in Colleton County. Then 2 weeks later, on June 23rd, SLED announced information gathered during the double homicide investigation of the Murdaughs gave them reason to reopen Stephen Smith's case from 2015, a move that has given new energy in the fight for justice for Stephen. It's also created a movement with the hashtag Standing for Stephen Smith. I recently traveled to the Lowcountry to meet Stephen's mom, Sandy Smith, about her fight for justice. A couple 2x4s nailed together, staked into the ground. The blue paint chipping away as the painted white letters and numbers start to fade. You can still make out the date, January 29th, 1996. The day Stephen Nicholas Smith was born. What you can't make out is the date at the bottom. The day Stephen Smith took his last breath, just feet away on this Hampton County road called Sandy Rock. Wednesday, July 8th, 2015. Just before 4 a.m., 19-year-old Stephen Smith's lifeless body was found in the roadway on the double yellow line. His car found a couple of miles from his body. Stephen was just 6 miles from home. 6 hours later, at the Smiths' home, Stephen's mom, Sandy, would get a phone call that changed her life forever.
The phone call was the hardest, and as they were talking, I can't listen anymore. And then it was shock, and then the tears just wouldn't stop.
In the days and weeks that followed, there would be disagreements among investigators, the coroner, and medical examiner on how Stephen died. It started as a homicide investigation. Those first on scene believed Stephen had been shot. Then days later, a medical examiner ruled Stephen's death was caused by him being hit by a car mirror, citing she found no bullet in his x-ray, leaving more questions than answers for Sandy Smith, which led her to search out what happened to her baby boy. The biggest question, why was Stephen on Sandy Run Road at this time of night?
That's what made it so strange that he would be out that late, because he had a class the next morning, and so that's kind of where I just wouldn't give up, Something was not right. A mother knows her child, and I know my child, and he would not have been in that road.
One theory as to why Sandy believes her son may have been killed: her son was an openly gay teenager in a small southern town.
I do think it was because he was gay. I said at the beginning that it was a hate crime. In my opinion, I think that's what it was.
Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. While rumors were flying across Hampton County, the news coverage started to dwindle, and eventually the case went cold.
It made me feel like they thought Stephen was nobody, and we didn't matter, and then, but I wasn't giving up. Somebody was going to listen.
It would take 6 long years.
I was trusting in God to make something happen. I know he was going to make it happen. Just didn't know when. I just had to wait on his timing.
On June 23rd, 2021.
They called me on my cell phone at work and said they were at my house. I'm calling to tell you we're reopening Stephen's case. And I said, yeah. And I said, whoa, excuse me, what'd you say?
A call that would change everything.
I was just shaking all over, and I was thanking God that finally somebody's going to look at it again.
No doubt someone was going to look at Stephen's case. Since June, his story has hit national TV, made headlines in newspapers across the country, featured in podcasts, and even Facebook groups have formed to help get justice for Stephen.
Bragging rights are on the table as USC and Clemson face off this weekend in college football. Of course, the Palmetto Bowl is back, and it's no secret it takes a team. Fox Carolina's Carrie Weimer caught up with one Tiger today to see what getting ready is all about.
You're going to teach me how to be a mascot now. You ready? Let's do this. Let's go. So now we stretch for the game. Okay.
A piece of history forever stamped into the minds of Gamecock fans. Steve Tannehill, the freshman quarterback at South Carolina, took down the Tigers inside Death Valley in 1992 and again in 94.
Big game this weekend. Are you excited? Are you ready for it? Jump up and down. Jump up, Cody. Oh, he's switching it out, one foot and then the other. Cody, I am super impressed.
Here along Howard Street, where Amelia Street meets, you can see this is still a very active scene. Still a lot of officers here. Not too long ago, I just spoke with someone who lives in the area. I asked her if she heard anything. She told me that she was actually in the house washing her hair. She came outside to check her mailbox, and bam, she saw all of the officers, all of the law enforcement presence flying here to this area. So I did find out this neighborhood is more of a mixtured neighborhood. We have a lot of senior citizens, and we do have some younger people. We do have people getting home with their kids this afternoon. So a lot for people to come home and see. I'm sure they are concerned about what's going on here. Cody, Victoria, I have not heard any shots here in this area. I have also reached out. I did text Parkburg County Sheriff Chuck Wright to find out any more information that he could give us. I also reached out to the police department just moments ago to find out if they're going to do any type of media staging to see if we can get any more answers, guys.
I just got off the phone with Sheriff Chuck Wright. Here is what we can now confirm. He does confirm his deputy was shot. He does confirm his deputy was shot twice in the arm. But he said God was on their side. That deputy is going to be okay. Standing by for a news conference story on what exactly happened.
Yeah, we want to bring this to you live right now. Let's listen in to what Sheriff Chuck Wright has to say.
Good?
Yeah, you can just look up at her though. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out today. We have had a shooting that happened here just off of Howard Street. We were responding to the city asking us to come and help.
Live for us out in Spartanburg near Amelia Street, where the investigation is still unfolding at this hour. Let's start with Zach, though. You were at that press conference earlier in the evening with Spartanburg Police, Spartanburg County Sheriff, and the Greenville County Sheriff, all of them coming together as a team to work this case.
Yeah, Cody and Tori, well, there are still a lot of questions as to what exactly happened and why. But we do know that SLED, the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office, and Police Department have been on the scene here for hours near Howard Street after multiple people were shot.
Watching the remnants of Fred as the system continues to move north and east. It's going to track right over the western Carolinas, bringing a lot of rain and dangerous storms along with it. The tropical depression now will likely become a remnant low by the time it makes its way over the western North Carolina mountains late tonight.
It's Fred. This tropical depression now is still packing a punch, and we're really only seeing the start of this system. Heavy rainfall already moving through northeast Georgia, western North Carolina, as well as the upstate. Yesterday in Transylvania County, we had a few inches of rainfall. Now we're adding on to that.
This devastating news coming out of western North Carolina, folks. At this hour, more than 30 people are missing in the Crusoe area of Haywood County. That is a small area of Haywood County, and again, 30 people unaccounted for.
Emergency crews are preparing for another day of searching. You can see it's early, but they are already set up here. The Salvation Army truck is ready to go. They've been here since 6 o'clock this morning preparing to hand out coffee, water, sandwiches, anything that the rescuers or those survivors need. And then over here you can see the checkpoint that they've actually set up at this intersection. That's to make sure that it's only locals and emergency rescuers coming through. They want to make sure that it's the only people who need to be back here necessary, because again, they are still searching for 20 missing people.
My co-anchor Cody Alcourt and Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent joining us now to really see this damage firsthand.
Tori, I'm in Bethel, North Carolina, here in Haywood County between Canton and Crusoe. This is just one of a dozen bridges that are not usable. People cannot access these communities. And as you can imagine, a lot of devastation here. You mentioned the death toll has risen to 4, 5 people still missing. The search and rescue teams just left this area. The good news, nobody was found on this stretch of the Pigeon River. But I'll be back in just a moment. I'm going to tell you what else was found on this bridge and just show you some of the devastation that is here along the banks. And this is just a very small stretch of 47 miles of the Pigeon River.
Yeah, Cody, it's truly unbelievable, some of the images and the video you've gotten down there. It just breaks all of our hearts, that's for sure. And of course, we were tracking all of this on Monday and then into Tuesday. It was the 1-2 punch that brought the double-digit inches of rain to this area. Behind me is the Canton Recreational Park. And this, as a mom, I look at and I just feel devastated for this community. This is where the kids would come and get together and play, and there is no timetable on when this will be back.
We can now confirm that we have 4 dead in Haywood County. Just devastating news. We also have 5 unaccounted for as of this afternoon, and search and rescue efforts are still underway. I do want to bring in now Ray Strain. He knows all too well this devastation here. Ray, thank you so much. I know you just rolled in. You guys were in Waynesville where you're trying to find temporary housing. This river right here, we saw it destroy your home. We have video of your home being washed down the Pigeon River. Walk us through what happened Tuesday as you guys started hearing about this storm.
Well, I was at work, and I had got a friend of mine come up and mention something about the town was going underwater. So, I had made it home, and by the time that I had got home, I could see that the river was rising quite a bit.
Officials announcing they recovered the last missing victim of the tropical storm Fred 10 days later. Emergency management tells us the latest victim is John Krolak of Crusoe. Now, previously, we learned Frank and Charlene Mungo, a husband and wife, Franklin McKenzie, Judy Mason, and Frank Lauer Sr. were all killed by this storm. Assessment teams from FEMA have been on the ground in Haywood County this week, assessing that damage and generating reports.
Fox Carolina is on a mission to help those in need this winter to make sure that everyone stays warm.
That's right. Today's the final day of our coat drive, but you do still have time to donate. Fox Carolina's Amber Worthy is live outside right now in our studios at Pelham Road with more. Amber, we love seeing so many donations still coming in.
Yes, it's been an amazing month this time. These donations really have been rolling in. We filled up 2 trucks, a storage unit, and I'm standing here with a major from the Salvation Army, Major Irving. I guess, how will you distribute these donations?
Well, first, let me thank you, Amber. The truck looks great, and I encourage everybody to continue to drop off your donations here at the Fox Carolina studios.
Talking with some neighbors today who are out and about donating. He joins us live outside our station right now, and we have seen such a great turnout this year, Matt.
Tori, Cody, the turnout has been astronomical, and time may be running out, but still not over yet. Now, tomorrow is the last day to donate at any of our participating partner locations. If you missed that, you can still donate Friday, but you'll have to either come here or go to the Salvation Army. Now, there's going to be a tent set up in our little parking lot here where I am standing, so you'll be able to come right up, drive up, donate those gently used coats or other winter wear, turn the car around, and then head right back up Pelham Road. Now, I reached out today to some folks who are doing their part to catch up and help us with this amazing mission. And the first stop was George Sink Law Firm on Congaree Road, where they say they already had 3 pickups today alone. So far, more than 7,000 coats have been donated by all of you in the community. Our storage unit on Pelham Road also absolutely full to the brim. We're going to show you more of that at 6 p.m. Neighbors tell me it warms their heart to see this type of giving around the holidays.
I believe there's a lot of people out there that need help, but some don't want to ask for help. So what y'all are doing is a very good thing to get coats out to the community.
I have plenty of coats at home. I was planning on donating. Coming through Ingalls today reminded me that I should make a trip over here.
Of course, you can still donate at any Ingalls location. Some of our crews were out picking up actually today when we arrived at Stallings Road on Greenville. There were so many coats that our team had to come back for a second pickup, a testament to the generosity of our viewers.
Well, Victoria, I'm still here just off of Miller Road, where things in this immediate area isn't too bad, but nonetheless, there is still debris, just like this debris pile right here next to me. You can see this all came off of someone's roof, and if you look even closer right here, for those people who are cleaning up, they're going to have to deal with this, a lot of nails in the area on this debris, so they're going to have to be safe while picking all of this up. And if you look right here behind me, there's another debris pile.
We can now confirm it was one of 3 tornadoes to touch down in the area.
Fox Carolina's Carrie Weimer live for us this afternoon near International Court in Malden, an area that got hit hard. And Carrie, how bad do things look there today?
You know, from one street to the next, you might not even know it came through, as Cody was saying. But here you can definitely tell where that damage trail is. We're just a little bit over from Miller Road here on International Court. I want to show you this clump of trees here behind me. It was ripped out of the ground like nothing, like toothpicks. And then just behind that, you'll see the GBS building supply building. Their windows are out. Their sign was blown down. They've been working all day with cranes and heavy equipment to clean it up. They tell me it's going to take a while to get all the damage cleaned up that happened yesterday in such a short time.
Well, this morning we have a very special surprise squad. Get your tissues ready because Kendrick Kent and the squad headed to Greenville to interview an upstate veteran who has devoted his life to caring for fellow veterans. He's had a hard year, so Surprise Squad jumped into action to make sure this amazing friend and neighbor had the hand up he needed. Take a look.
Kendra Kent here, and we're on our way to Charlie's. He's an upstate veteran, has worked in local law enforcement. He's a big part of the community. He thinks we're here to talk about all of his contributions to this area, but in reality, we're here for a big surprise that we hope just makes his day. This is Surprise Squad. Yes, sir.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, Mr. Porter. Charlie Porter is an Air Force veteran and former police captain, serving his country and community for over 60 years. After leaving the military, Charlie rose through law enforcement ranks and held a number of distinguished titles, even receiving the Medal of Honor in 1982. But his time in law enforcement was cut short due to severe injuries he sustained while on duty. What did it mean to you to serve your community in law enforcement?
It was a gift. It was a gift.
It was then he devoted more time to advocacy for veterans here at home. We've heard so many great things about what you've done for veterans in our area, so it's just
they've done it for me, lady. It makes me want to cry. I love my vets, and one of the greatest honors of my life is to be able to say I was a veteran, and I mean that.
When Surprise Squad learned that this man who had cared for so many needed a bit of support himself, the team arranged a little hand up to help out this former captain and commander. The work that you've done, Upstate Warrior, the VA, has been telling us so many wonderful things. We just want to do a little something to thank you for all of your service. And here's United Community Bank, Michelle Seaver.
Don't let the long hair throw y'all.
Just wanted to say thank you so much for all of the work you've done for our country and for the veterans. What you do is so special, and we're just so appreciative.
It's overwhelming. I just can't believe it. You don't know how bad I needed that right now too. I mean, it's a godsend.